My name is Michael Gilmore and I'm the writer of WhizBang's blog, and thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate it. This is a part of our 10th anniversary celebrations. Yeah, I can't believe it. I've been writing for 10 years and it's so good to have you as a reader and a watcher now joining me on this journey. But I've been doing a series on different aspects of the domain industry and tackling some of the different business models. I discussed just recently development. Now I'm going to talk about traffic. Traffic domains are like they used to be that you could pick them up off the ground. There'd be like a bar of gold sitting there. You pick it up and you just park the domain and you just make a whole heap of money. And then I remember it wasn't so long ago now that people began to say, well, hang on, I'm not making as much from my traffic revenue and it's not nearly as good. And everything was going down, 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 down like this. And I remember coming across, when I was on one of my trips, I came across an old-time domain. I've been in the industry for a long time. And he said, you know what? Domain traffic is dead. And I said, what do you mean it's dead? They said, yeah, it's dead. Parking's hopeless. Everything's hopeless. Doom and gloom. And I said, okay, so what were you doing like 5 years ago? And he said, well, I was parking all my domains at this particular company. And I said, great. What are you doing now? And he said, the same things I was doing then. And I said, well, so let me understand this clearly. You're doing exactly the same thing and expecting a different outcome. And he said, yeah, I suppose I am. I said, you know that's the definition of insanity. And he goes, yeah, it is. And I said, you've got to do something different. And this thing really frustrates me enormously. With ParkLogic, we've been monetizing traffic, extracting value from traffic for a long time. Well, actually, close to 10 years as well now. And during that time, we have found what works and what doesn't work. We know these things. We've got empirical evidence to prove it. In fact, we track about 300 different metrics for every single domain, every single day. And that's, well, boy, I think it's close to about 500 million data points a day. It's a lot of data points. And it just keeps on growing, the amount of data and everything like that. And that brings a point. If you really want to extract the full amount of value from your domain traffic, and you're a serious domain investor, then you really need to be digging into big data or partnering with someone who does dig into big data on your behalf. Big data is where it's all at. That's where all the hidden value is. I view it like this. And I've done this presentation to this effect at NamesCon and all the different major conferences. And I said, look, the domain traffic industry is like the gold rush. In the early days, you could pan for gold. You would find bars of gold in the ground, like nuggets on the gold. And then someone came with new technology and you pan for the gold. And then another new piece of technology came along as all the gold got extracted, and sluices come along. And then someone said, we need to go up into the mountains, dig holes into the side of the mountains. They did that. And then finally, we're at the stage right now where we're a company which drills holes into the Earth's crust like 7 miles deep, hunting for that little tiny bit of gold. And if you're still panning for gold and other people are drilling into the Earth's crust 7 miles deep, guess what? You're at a technological disadvantage. You're way down here and they're way up there as such, you know, in terms of technology. And if you're not constantly working with a partner or doing something yourself anyway, which is going to improve your ability to extract the full value from the traffic, then you're going to be left behind. And what will happen is you'll eventually go, this is not worth it. You'll sell off your domains and someone will say, thank you for doing that. I'm so happy because you just gave me some domains with doing like $1,000 a month and I've turned them into $10,000 a month. Yeah, and it's all because ultimately you just didn't do anything different. You just didn't do anything different. And it's a very frustrating thing. So my advice to you is this, is do something different. So what do we do? And I'm talking from the perspective of ParkLogic because a lot of people think we're just a parking company. We're not a parking company. I think of us as a meta parking company. So we take domain traffic in. What we then do, in the space of 100 milliseconds, we run a real-time auction system with a whole lot of advertiser networks. And if they win the auction, then the traffic is routed off straight away directly to that advertiser. If there's no winner in the auction, then it goes to the parking companies' affiliate programs and that sort of thing, and who then wins out of those. It's always a competitive situation, and it's literally on a second-by-second basis. So we're constantly updating our algorithms and all that sort of thing all the time to be able to extract the maximum amount of value from the traffic. Now, behind all this is a huge server farms. We're dealing with millions and millions of pieces of traffic every single day. So there's lots of server farms, but more than that is that when you have traffic coming in and there's auction systems and we got all the different parking providers, and we find, by the way, all the parking providers, they all win some of the traffic, and it changes all the time. A lot of my friends at conferences and stuff, they say, so Michael, which is the best parking company? And my response has been the same as always been. He said, the best when and for what? Because it does change all the time. It's constantly moving up and down. So you may get one domain, which is winner is Cedo, then the winner's domain sponsor, then the winner's parking crew, and it's constantly migrating. Then the winner is suddenly a direct advertiser. It's always changing. And that's how you extract the value from the traffic. So we've got all these great big servers and everything. We're processing huge amounts of data, and that's only going to grow across time. What we're also exploring is things like other interesting ways of extracting value from the traffic, such as video advertising, building some sites with some of these capabilities in it. In my development video, I talked about some of my thoughts around development, and I'm really tracking back to the core user and determining whether that's a real user or a bot or whatever, and that sort of thing. So traffic is a big task. I personally think that if you're still managing your own domains, and you've got something doing over, say, $250 a month, if you're still managing your own domains, then you're really not extracting the value from the traffic. And I've had so many people say to me, Michael, no, you don't know. I've got this really awesome spreadsheet. It does all these fantastic things. And then they move the traffic onto our platform, and they suddenly do more and they have to do less. So they do more revenue, less work. And I just think that the whole traffic monetization industry has changed, where it's no longer a do-it-yourself, but it's more outsource it. And I think more and more people are coming to that conclusion of outsourcing their traffic monetization to companies that say like ParkLogic, because that's how you'll get the best value from your traffic, and not doing it yourself. But anyway, that's a few thoughts on domain monetization. I must admit, I could probably talk on that topic for a day or two, but I'll leave it as that. It's been really good having you here with me, and I look forward to talking to you again in a future video. Thanks a lot for that. Bye.